is the Extreme Channel. We are unboxing a custom Chibi, it doesn't matter, I'm drunk. And we're going to unbox a statue drunk. How cool is that? Some of you may not think it's very cool, but from my position of being drunk, it's very cool. This is a piece I've been waiting so long on. It's from a custom group I have a number of pieces from. And ironically, something we're going to talk about in the review, I have 3, including this one, pieces shipping right now. So I guess it'd only be 2. I don't even know how to open this. And I don't think it's the alcohol or the barbecue. I had alcohol and barbecue. Possibly 2 of God's greatest creations. As a reminder, we can't talk about where customs come from, but there's some signifiers on the box that we'll just ignore. That didn't work. You know, I really thought about it. Should I wait till I'm sober? Or do another drunk review? And you'll notice I'm wearing pants because this is an unboxing right now. I'll take the pants off later. Couldn't find my box cutter, but I found a knife. Lots of pieces. Ninja. So, looks like we got our first layer here. See that? And with any statue piece, the first layer is not the base. I can already tell that. Second layer is the base. Maybe a few other pieces. And the base is pretty heavy, to be honest with you. It's probably not that heavy, but it's really late at night right now. And like I said, I'm pretty drunk. So this is probably going to break as I unbox it. And I bet you got a thumbs down for that. Today, depending when you watch this, but today I launched my hater comment video, which was really had a mix of reactions. The majority of people loved it. And I loved it too. It was really fun to make. But the haters who knew I was talking about them, who are the ones giving me a thumbs down right now, didn't like it because hashtag truth hurts. So in this box we have the base, as you saw. We'll look at some close-ups. And I'm betting this is Cyclops beams. My very good virtual friend Rick /Rich/Richard/Dick told me to be careful because this is difficult to get in. And I told him I'm probably going to be drunk when I do it, so he said I might be in trouble. So we got that. And we have maybe Archangel's wing, maybe. Who knows? I'm trying to decide if I have the ability to do a dual camera and Archangel's other wing. Let me make sure I'm recording this time. I am. But I went out, I had a work meeting. So lots and lots of beer. Oh shit. Ninja! Lots and lots of alcohol. It was a good time. I remember unboxing and assembling XM Studios Samurai Batgirl. So first piece we have is Wolverine. And we'll do close-ups and everything during the review. So for now, you're just going to get to see me unpack everything. Maybe. Next is Archangel. I might speed this up, so I personally don't like unboxings, as I've said many times, but many other people do. But I can't decide, I don't know if I already said this or not, if I'm going to do a dual camera or not. This is a custom. I don't remember if I've said that or not in the video that wasn't playing or not. So customs, we don't talk about where they come from. They're a limited run. And ironically, from this custom company, I have, including this one, which I guess this one really wouldn't be included anymore. Here's Rogue. That was Cyclops last time, by the way. I have 3 pieces shipping right now, including this one, which I guess I shouldn't include, because it's not really shipping. It's here, even though the tracking still says it's in California. That custom Silver Surfer I did, apparently, according to the tracking, it's still on the truck. And we have Gambit. Very cool. This is going to be fun to put together drunk. And it looks like one more X-Men. So we got Wolverine, Archangel, Cyclops, Rogue, Gambit, and Colossus. Woo! You know the bad part about doing this drunk? I'm not enjoying it as much as I normally would. But the funny thing is, as I'll probably say this during the review, this is actually going to my office. So I need to rebox it up, which is going to be shit. I don't know if I can do that drunk tonight after I review and edit everything. Might have to wait. Uh-oh. No, don't worry. That was just foam. And we have the Sentinel. Yep, nothing broke. Don't worry. Even if it did, it'd be my fault because I'm drunk. Here is the Sentinel. Woohoo! I don't think anything broke. Well, something did. This piece on top broke. Easy fix. We'll show a picture later. Alright, let me pause the video and we can figure out what's going on here. Okay, we couldn't figure out the second camera, so you'll just have to deal with this one right here, but we'll do some close-ups. I also couldn't figure out how this piece right here fits in. It broke off somehow when I was unboxing it, which may or may not have been my fault, but I'll get over it. And not just because I'm drunk, but because sometimes you just need to realize there's nothing you can do. You can't change the past. And also a good reason why you should not unbox stuff. Oh, there it is. Snap. I just figured it out. But that's why God invented glue. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'll do some close-ups here. First we have the base. And let's get a spinny thing. Turntable, whatever you want to call it. Here we have the base, and I don't even, oh, this is really heavy. There is no logo or anything like that on the bottom. So when we get to the review, I can't tell you how much the ES was, but traditionally with a custom piece like this, the ES is anywhere from 30 to 70. I'll try and look it up online. Because I also have to look up online what chibi, whatever, however you pronounce it is. So, let's do some zoom in here. Pretty impressive. I got that in the first try, huh? Wolverine, where the hell was he positioned at? I feel like he should be right here, but a little peg insert. What else we got? Cyclops. Whew, almost broke that too. You know, I don't like to break statues just like you guys, but sometimes crap happens and there's nothing you can do about it. I guess you probably could assemble it sober, but that's not how we roll on Extreme. Simple enough there. Next to him is Colossus. And it's funny, I'm assembling this like the front view so you guys can see everything. Oh, that's good. Rogue is tearing up the arm. So probably not the arm that's all the way down, but this is a pretty easy assembly. Boom. Archangel's on top, and I don't see where Gambit is. Oh, here's some by my good friend, Rich. I probably could just look for keyholes, too. That would be easy. So, fairly easy assembly, even though I'm not even done yet. Archangel goes on top. So that is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces for a diorama. And my good friend Rich, if you're watching this, my friend, my virtual friend, we've never met in real life, he said this is one of the best pieces he owns. So what we are going to do is repair this small breakage and get some pictures for you guys. And then come back and see if Rich is right. Alright, we got everything fully assembled, but I'm still a little bit drunk, and I forgot to put in Cyclops' beam, his laser beam, heat vision, whatever the hell you want to call it, optic blast. That's the name of it. Which, that is where my virtual friend Rich, that's the third time I've given you a shout out, I don't forget you. He said it was a little bit difficult. I had no issues. That's because I'm a pro at assembling statues. And if I sound really cocky, it's not the alcohol. It's who I am. But assemble him. So let's talk about this bad boy. And we're going to review him using the extreme scale. And I'm a little bit drunk, but my initial thoughts are, honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed. Which, I don't know why I'm doing a Trump sign with my hand. It's probably the alcohol, because everybody else who's gotten him in has been raving about him. And I'm a big fan of this custom commission group. They've done the Fastball Special that I have, the Phoenix Forces pieces, the Black Suited Superman. And as I said in the unboxing, I have 2 other pieces actually in shipping right now. Another one is this Phoenix Force Namer, not Namor, Namer. And an Age of Apocalypse Magneto. Not Magneto, Magneto. But this is a Chibi X-Men Diorama. I don't know what Chibi means, so I was Googling it at a stoplight while I was coming home. And it says Chibi, or Chibi, is a Japanese slang word describing something short. It comes from the verb which means to wear out and become shorter. The term is widely used in Japan to describe a specific style of caricature when characters are drawn in an exaggerated way. That's what this is. So cost on this guy was about $800. Shipping from China was a couple hundred. Let's get dimensions really quick. And obviously kind of odd dimensions. I don't know what's long, what's wide, and I can't find my regular tape measure. But it's about 24 inches wide. At the tallest is Archangel's wing, which I'm going to say is right under 19 inches. And then deep, probably at the deepest point, right around 15 inches. So this is an X-Men vs. Sentinel diorama. It's a custom. I don't know how many they made, which is kind of frustrating. Traditionally, every single piece, licensed or custom, have a sticker on the bottom with the edition size. There is no sticker, so I don't know how many they made. Kind of a turnoff. But right now, when you talk about X-Men vs. Sentinel, you have a couple different options. You have this, which is the Chibi, I call it Chibi, with exaggerated people. You have the XM Studios right here, which I also have on order, but I think I'm going to cancel it because it's too flippin' big. And Iron Studios recently released their version of it as well, which I, of course, have it on order. You saw the assembly, 10, 12 pieces, which isn't too bad. And I don't know what scale this is. If I had to guess, I would say this is about 1/20th scale. Which you might think, Mr. X, that's a little bit small. Well, a 1/6 figure is usually about 12 inches. This is less than 6 inches, so I think I'm pretty close on that. Maybe 1/15, somewhere in there. But it's a cool little diorama, especially considering it's 1/5 the price of the other ones we looked at. It is that chibi where it's an exaggeration. But let's start talking about the concept, and we're going to review it using the extreme scale. If you don't know what that is, go in some previous videos. I'm too drunk to show you now. But concept-wise, because it's chibi, did they exaggerate the features? It's an X-Men vs. Sentinel Dio. Did they get the key characters? Did they get them doing the key actions with their powers? And my initial thoughts are, yep. So you don't need to watch anymore. Review over. But let's look at it. So I'm going to show you a couple different shots here, but you have Cyclops and Colossus and Gambit and Wolverine and Rogue and Archangel, who traditionally isn't one of the core characters, but I like that they included him up on top. And not only do you have these core characters, but it's hard to look at unless you do a 360 view. They are really utilizing their power. Some of the things you're going to see with the close-ups is Rogue and Colossus are trying to tear apart the Sentinel. Wolverine is lunging at him. Cyclops has his optic blast and pieces are falling out. Archangel has thrown some of his wing shards at him. That's one of the broken parts that we're going to look at. And Gambit has some of his energized cards in the face of the Sentinel. So concept-wise, I think they did a good job. It's a smaller piece, which is really nice for people who have space restraints. It's cute. This is probably one of the few pieces that I've ever owned that I'm going to call cute. It's cute because it's different. The features are definitely over-exaggerated. And I think the concept is done really well. Like I said, they're showcasing their powers. They're the key X-Men. The concept is a 4 out of 5. It's a W or a Rail, which is a statue I really want, but not quite close. A Grail. Next thing we talk about is design. So we talk about displayability. Did everything fit together right? Was it packaged well? Anything that kind of falls into those arenas. Now, first of all, you saw the unboxing. You saw the packaging. Part of the shards on top broke off. Here's the broken piece right here. A couple different pictures. This could have been because of drunk user error. As you see, I'm a pretty laid-back guy. Oh well, you can't change the past. Which some of you statue lovers are just probably freaking out about it. Get over it. You'll still get some sleep. What I'm really impressed is everything fit really well, and it's a big diorama with technically 4, 5, 7, 8 characters in there. I don't want to count because I'm drunk. So that's pretty impressive, and I give them definite props for that. Everything fit in really well. It connects all together. While Cyclops isn't truly touching him, it looks like he's touching him. This doesn't take up a lot of display space, which, as we talked about, real estate is kind of the enemy of collectors. So I think it accomplishes that, especially if you didn't want to go down the route of XM Studios or Iron Studios. So definitely a big pro for that. Design-wise, I can't really find a lot wrong with it, which I'm trying to. I'm really being honest with you because it's not blowing me away. And again, it could be because of the alcohol. But if I'm being as objective as possible, I think I have to give the design a W as well. And maybe this is why everybody is loving so much on this piece. Now, our next two categories we're going to talk about is paint and sculpt. And here we have an issue. First of all, paint, we can review that fine. Sculpt on the characters, we can't. We can't look at traditional anatomy. We can't look at musculature and proportion size, things like that that are normally found. So as we go into this, it kind of helps that I've had a lot to drink tonight because I'm just going to talk about it. And then at the end, we'll grade the paint and the sculpt. Let's look at the base here. First of all, I don't like it. It's the traditional rock base you always see with the Sentinel, with your quarter scale Sentinel pieces. And there could have been a lot more texture and variations in the colors. I think it's very plain looking for an $800 piece. It doesn't hit the mark. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. A lot more could have been done, especially because it takes up so much of the display. Now let's look at the Sentinel right in the middle. I really like the Sentinel. They stuck with the traditional blue and purple colors. It has this metallic hint to it, which really makes it look like it's a robot, a metal robot. And it has that, chibi or chibi or whatever that is. Really looks comical, really looks funny. They did a great job showing different parts of the circuitry and the screws and anatomies, jetpack on the back. And even on his face, it looks really good. Reminds me of the Sideshow Sentinel maquette, but really overemphasized. And I think the scale is correct compared to the X-Men characters that are on here, which is obviously a big plus as well. And speaking of the X-Men characters, such a good segue right there. I got a couple shots of each of them. Let's start at Wolverine, lunging at him as Wolverine would with his claws open. Again, I can't judge the sculpt or anatomy too much, but I like the fact that they stuck with the traditional Wolverine. He looks hilarious with his big teeth, his little arms. You still see some muscles in there. I think they did a nice job with the positioning of him. The paint looks really clean on this. I didn't talk too much about that on Sentinel, but it's really well done. Like I said, that metallic hint on the characters, it looks great too. Here's a picture of Cyclops. Again, this is very cartoony. So if you don't like that, you won't like this piece at all. But huge head, very comic, cartoon style, comical. Great paint on Cyclops. I like the optic blast, the clear type resin coating they're using. Check out Cyclops, or not Cyclops, Colossus. They're always overemphasized on the eyes and the teeth. It doesn't look detailed, doesn't look clean, but that's what this is supposed to be. This is a really funny, comical piece. Again, great metallic hints on this. Traditional Colossus uniform. Here's Gambit. Fantastic job representing the character. That's one cool thing. Even though they overemphasize the characters in different ways, not once do you question, is this person? You instantly know. Very, very cool. Very, very different. This is just a different statue altogether. I like a lot of what they did with it. Showing his power, throwing his cards. Then moving up to Rogue, Gambit's semi-other. Again, huge eyes, painted on. This is supposed to be comical, supposed to be crazy. She's flying or tearing apart the Sentinel's arm or getting right in there. Then Archangel on top. Like I said, you saw earlier his metal shards in the head. His wings floating out. They were separate pieces as he saw as assembled them. Classic Archangel. Head overemphasized. Great colors on him. Great paint app. Now what's really interesting is I have a bunch of other silly pieces you can check out on review. I have Bat Duck. I have Doctor Doom. So a duck that's Doctor Doom actually arriving, I think, in 2 days from the time I'm filming this. I have all the fat characters. Fat Wolverine, Deadpool, Batman, Superman, Aquaman on the way. The paint on this is really clean. The sculpt on the characters is hard to judge because it's kind of that silly, weird stuff, and I've drank a lot. The base definitely could have used some improvement. So I think the sculpt and the paint, they both fall into the same category, or similar categories. So the sculpt is fantastic on the top, but you really can't tell, like I said, because the characters aren't true characters. So it's between a V, which is very nice, and a W, and we always downgrade. So it's a very nice on the sculpt. When we talk about the paint, other than some opportunities in the base, I think they knocked the paint out of the park. It really pops, really shines. I like those different contrasts. I have to give the paint a W as well, which is a rail. 4 out of 5. Now, what's going to be interesting to everybody, and who knows, my grade could change if I'm sober, but we had 3 W's and 1 V. So 1 3 and 3 4s. So naturally you would think, well, this is a W statue or rail. I don't think it is. And I don't know why. Like I said, I have the fatties, I have the ducks. There's just something about it that I'm not loving as much as I thought I would. But everybody else who seems to be getting this is just raving over it. I'm not. I like it a lot. Maybe it's because it doesn't go with anything else in my collection. But overall, I think this is a V. It's a very nice statue. It's different. I like the concept. It's unique. I could see doing a whole line of these. But when it comes to, is this an amazing statue that's almost a grail? Is this something that's has the extreme factor? It doesn't. Which is interesting because the pieces that come from this custom group usually are out of this world. And I think it's more the concept. Even though it's a great concept, it's just not for me. And that's one thing I really like about reviewing statues is I can look at something and say, that's fantastic, but I still don't love it. I like it a lot, but I don't love it. And I think that's the big thing about difference of opinions. So let me know your thoughts on this guy, where he kind of falls. Interesting. And I can't wait to review the next 2 pieces in the upcoming week for you guys that are coming from this group. But I appreciate you turning in. I was going to put this in my office. I think for now I'll display it here with my X-Men wall that you saw in my room tour. But eventually he will go to my office. If not, resell him. Don't message me asking if I will resell him to you. But I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.